Hi, I'm Taslima Akhtar from Indiana University, and this was a joint collaboration between Indiana University and Syracuse University. I will be presenting our paper titled, I am uncomfortable sharing what I cannot see, privacy concerns of the visually impaired with camera-based assistive applications. In addition to a worldwide population of 36 million people with total blindness, 216 million people have other kinds of severe visual impairments that cannot be addressed by corrective glasses. Here are some examples of common visual impairments that are not total blindness. As a result, people with visual impairments often rely on various forms of assistance. Building on recent advances in computer vision and augmented reality, camera-based assistive applications like Seeing AI, Google Lookout, and OrCam help people with visual impairments in various ways, including text and object recognition, face recognition, and others. Unfortunately, such automated systems have their limitations. Automated systems sometimes provide inaccurate answers and may lack context. For example, in the first image, Seeing AI answered insufficiently, saying this was probably a sign on sidewalk instead of conveying the sidewalk was actually closed. The second image is a simple example of inaccurate information where the woman was characterized as sitting on a bench. Because of the limited capabilities of automatic systems, users often find communicating with a human more reliable, and hence crowdsourced technologies are gaining popularity with more than 100,000 people using services like Aira and Be My Eyes. In crowdsourced systems, people with visual impairments can take a photo and ask questions to human assistants such as crowd workers and friends about the photo. However, sharing photos with human assistants comes with privacy risks. As a first step, we explore data from the VisVis project. Their dataset comprises 20,000 publicly available images associated with questions. We analyzed 1,000 images selected at random from the public dataset along with the 200 sensitive images shared by the researchers of VisVis. In addition to questions about the sensitive foreground objects, like the first two images, we observed several instances of background objects that could violate one's privacy, like the two images on the right. The question might be about popcorn or soda can, but a picture of a baby and a person is captured in the background. Our work addresses this latter risk of sharing sensitive background objects with human assistants. Other researchers have also noted privacy and security risks of sharing private information with crowd workers. In our work, we sought to conduct a more systematic study to understand what are the privacy concerns of people with visual impairments in the context of different background objects and human assistants. Such an understanding can shed light on technical solutions to make these technologies safer for people with visual impairments. To answer our research question, we conducted an online survey-based experiment. Each visually impaired participant was randomly assigned to one assistant condition, and that participant was asked questions for 3 real-life scenarios such as home, office, and restaurant. For each scenario, we asked questions about 10 different background objects in a random order. Our selection of background objects and scenarios were based on our analysis on VisVis dataset. In each scenario, we ask the participant to imagine they are asking for help from a human assistant to perform a specific task. In the home scenario, the task was matching the scarf with the dress. In the office scenario, the task was differentiating medicine bottles, and in the restaurant scenario, the task was identifying a soda can. We selected 10 background objects that could potentially be present in each image. The selection of the background objects for each scenario varies slightly. 6 objects, as shown here, were common to all scenarios, whereas the rest were specific to the scenario description. In each scenario, we asked the participants how comfortable they would feel about the background objects present in the image along with the foreground object. We used 5-point Likert items to measure the dependent variable ranging from extremely uncomfortable to extremely comfortable. Participants were also asked to provide an explanation for their responses. Now we look into the results of our study. We recruited 155 visually impaired participants through the National Federation of the Blind and the American Council of the Blind. 63 participants identified as male and 92 as female. A majority of participants fell in the age group of over 55, which was 56 participants. A majority of our participants were totally blind, which was 101 participants. I will now highlight our main findings. For simplicity, we aggregated background objects into 4 categories. First, personally identifiable information or PII, such as credit cards, then objects affecting one's impression management, such as medical prescription, next general objects such as food and books, and finally laptop screen. In the first graph, we can see participants were most concerned about PII. They also showed higher concern about the objects that may impact their impression management, such as messy area. In our qualitative data, participants also expressed strong concerns about being judged negatively for sharing messiness of their surroundings. Participant 144 stated, "I'm very picky about being messy. I wouldn't want people to get the wrong impression of me by watching other people's mess." We also considered 2 types of content pertaining to people. First, self-disclosure, such as one's own face, and second, bystanders in the photo. Surprisingly, our analysis found that participants were much more comfortable revealing themselves than bystanders. In our qualitative data, we found that participants considered sharing the image of bystanders without their consent is violation of their privacy. For example, participant 34 said, "I have no problem having parts of myself visible, even my face. I wouldn't take pictures of people at other tables in case they would be uncomfortable." Digging deeper, we found a significant association between the sharing preference of different background objects and the type of human assistant. We can see that participants were less comfortable with volunteers when it comes to inadvertent disclosures of PII, which would make sense in the context of worries about identity theft. One of our participants said, "I would feel extremely uncomfortable with the visibility of all the items which are personal to me or to a co-worker because they could be potentially misused by the stranger who is looking at the picture." Next, we observed a higher comfort level in sharing general objects with volunteers than their family, which is supported by qualitative scores from our participant 47, who said, "I trust my family and friends but don't like to bother them if I can help it." Finally, in the case of impression management, participants were more concerned sharing with friends than their family and anonymous volunteers, as people might be least comfortable with friends when it comes to one's living conditions or medications. For example, participant 30 was concerned about sharing financial and medical information with friends and also worried about their friends resharing their information with others. To summarize our key results, first, we observed that participants were more concerned about the privacy of bystanders than their own. Secondly, our participants have strong concerns about sharing personally identifiable information with crowd workers because that might lead to identity theft. Lastly, participants were less comfortable sharing information about self-representation with friends. So, in short, when seeking assistance, the right volunteer depends on what objects are present, not only in the foreground but also in the background. Now we note several implications of our study which could be addressed in future work. Although AI-based assistive systems fall short, a purely human solution can also cause harm. We argue we must begin to humanize assistive technology that blends human involvement with algorithmic approaches. Computer vision algorithms must better understand the context. For example, what kinds of objects people might want others to see or not to see, as well as be cognizant of where we need to enforce human assistance as opposed to algorithmic assistance. We argue that researchers should focus on humanizing assistive technologies by better understanding the context and needs of the human. For example, in this scenario, the technology picks family as the assistant because this is a messy area and this image should not be shared with friends or other social groups because of the negative impression it might create. It should not be shared with crowd workers as photo frames are present which can be considered sensitive to be shared with crowd workers. Given that some of the information is not appropriate for certain audiences, computer vision algorithms should be designed more empathetically such that they detect content deemed inappropriate for certain audiences and blur them, redact them, or generate other novel solutions that are context-aware and thus sensitive to the desires of those who are using camera-based assistive applications. Finally, technologies should help to pick the right audience based on all subject matter in the photo and not just the foreground object. However, differentiating the needed object from background object is not always trivial. For example, we might identify the foreground object by using hand segmentation in the first image, but in the second image it is not clear which are the primary objects. Future research is needed to understand how to differentiate the primary objects from the background objects. In conclusion, we observe that information disclosure practices of our participants vary according to the types of objects and human assistance. As researchers, we need to continue to understand where systems are creating insecurity for the visually impaired people while also uncovering new values that can drive future design. Thank you everyone for listening. We would also like to thank the US National Science Foundation for their support. Please feel free to contact us with any question about this study.